Good morning to everyone. So now I'm going to start a new topic in this organic nanomaterials, which one is a rectifiers. Okay, rectifiers. In this one here we have to see this. What is rectifiers? This is nothing but electronic devices. These are electronic devices. Electronic devices. Okay. So here these have what it will do. So it converts electric current to electric current. So actually convert electric current to, we have to means here convert the circuit current. Okay, circuit current. So this, with the help of this rectifiers, okay. So for conversion of electric current to this circuit current, so it needs the rectifiers. Okay. So this is the straightness of direction. So it travels in the direction of current. Okay. So here we have to take up, this is an organic compound which is having pi bonds. Okay, and sigma bonds. Okay. So here alternate double bonds will be there for this one. So okay, it will leave this one. So next one we have to let's see the rectifier. How many types of rectifiers? There are three types of rectifiers are there. So these are three types. Okay. So which are S rectifiers. Okay. So first one, second one A rectifiers, third one U rectifiers. Okay. So there are totally three types of rectifiers are there, which are S rectifier, A rectifier and U rectifier. Let's see one by one what is rectifier and A rectifier and U rectifier. So this is rectification. Why it will do means here rectification due to Schottky barrier. Okay. Schottky barrier. Okay. So actually, you know what is Schottky effect and what is the crystal defects are there now. So that's why. So here it will be there. Meta homogeneous interfactors will be there for this one. If you see these A rectifiers, this is a rectification due to asymmetric placement of molecules. Okay, here why this A rectification mainly occurs between asymmetric, means because of the asymmetric placement of molecules. Okay, so this has good overlap of molecular orbital. MO means what? Molecular orbital with electrode and other not. Only this will only one molecular orbital with a good overlap. Next, what is U rectifiers? These are called as unimolecular rectification due to A means here S rectifier means Schottky. A means what here? Asymmetric Schottky one. U means unimolecular rectification. Okay. Rectification due to asymmetric transport of electrons. Here asymmetric placement of molecules will be present in this A rectifiers, but here in unimolecular rectification, why it is so? It is due to asymmetric transport asymmetric transport. Okay, so asymmetric transport of electrons, transport of electrons, transport of electrons. Okay, electrons between the molecular orbitals. Okay, so let's see how it will be there. Here if you take pi, sigma and pi. Okay, so this is, here it is said to be electron rich. So this is said to be donor. This is a called as tunnel bridge. Tunnel bridge. Sigma is a tunnel bridge. Okay, this is tunnel bridge. And what about this pi? This is electron deficient acceptor. Electron deficient acceptor. Okay. Okay. So this is this one. Let's see one example how these are placed in this one. Okay. Let's see the examples. Here there are three types of rectifiers are there. S rectifier, A rectifier and U rectifier. Here unimolecular rectifier is there. So A means asymmetric placement is there. Here S means Schottky barrier. Okay, Schottky barrier. Okay, ma'am. So next one, if we see this one example, we have to see this how will be the rectifiers are there. Okay. So it follows this, before I said na, so pi, sigma, pi. Okay. So this part is electron rich because here lone pairs are present on the sulfur and here double bonds will be there. So this is called as electron rich. So that's why it acts as a donor. Okay. Pi donor. Okay. So this is a covalently bond or only sigma bonds only present here. So here this is having pi part. Okay. So this is a sigma. All are covalent bonds. There are no double bonds, means there are no pi electrons in this one. If you carefully see this one, all are single bonds only. So there is no double bond. So that's why covalent, all the covalent bonds are there. Okay. Covalent saturated bridge. Covalent saturated bridge. Bridge couples between, decouples between donor and acceptor. Okay, donor and acceptor. So this is electron deficient one, electron deficient. Okay, so that's why it is a electron poor pi acceptor, electron poor, and this is a pi acceptor. Okay, so this shows means here this is electron rich and it acts as a donor and it is having covalent saturated bridge which decouples between donor and acceptor. Okay, and what about this part? It is a electron deficient and electron poor will be there. So that's why it acts as a pi acceptor. Okay, pi acceptor. So this is the example for this rectifiers. Okay, rectifiers. Next one is electron transfer mechanism in rectifier. How the electron transfer will be present in this one? Let's see this. Okay. Electron transfer mechanism in rectifier cation. Okay, electron transfer mechanism in rectifier cation. Okay, so let's see. In this, first one is resonant electron transfer mechanism. Resonant electron transfer mechanism. Okay, so let's see this one, how it will be. Okay, so mechanism. Okay, let's see this mechanism. So first we have M1 means plus, here donor, here sigma, here acceptor, means this one pi sigma pi. Okay, so one of the pi electron act as a donor, means which is having electrons here. Okay, so when it is so it will give these electrons, so it will take these electrons, okay, here, and plus M2 will be there. So what means, one electron is donated to this one, so this becomes the M1 minus. It becomes the M1 minus, okay, because it will give the electron. Okay, so at that time this D becomes positive charge because it lost the electron, so that's why it becomes a plus. Okay, and sigma is there. Okay, and here A naught is there. Okay, so in this actually we are having M2. Okay, M2. So if you transfer electron to this one, okay, so then what will be happen here? It is converted into, actually we are having already M1 minus, okay, and here D plus is there, here sigma is there, and it transfer electron to this A already, which is having one electron, so that's why it becomes A minus. Next this it donates the electron, so that's why it becomes a M2 plus. Okay, so in this so M1 minus act as a homo is there. Next this one is LUMO, and here this A minus is HOMO, and this one is LUMO. Okay, this one is LUMO. So like this, so here electron transfer takes place. Okay, electron transfer takes place like this. Okay, in this resonant electron transfer mechanism, this mechanism will be like this. Okay, so means this donor, if it transfer to this M1, then it becomes M1 minus. So it will lose the electrons. Okay, so just you don't show this. Okay, so we have to. So then what will be happen here? This will become M1 minus plus D sigma, M2 will be there. If M2 transfers one electron to this A, so which is having already one electron will be there, so that's why A becomes a minus. Okay, So so minus charges are said to be HOMO, plus charges are said to be LUMO. Okay, LUMO. Okay, means here least occupied electrons will be there. Here this is the highest occupied molecular orbital, and LUMO means what least unoccupied molecular orbital. Okay, so this is about the electron resonant transfer mechanism. Let's see the second type of mechanism. Okay. Second mechanism is nothing but inelastic electron transfer mechanism. Inelastic electron transfer mechanism. Electronic transfer mechanism. Okay. So let's see how it will be there. Okay. So actually we have to take the before one M1 minus, and we are having D plus sigma A minus plus M2 plus. Okay. Okay. So let's see how it will be there. Okay. If it is inelastic, elastic, inelastic, this is elastic. Okay. So here this is electron rich, this is electron deficient, electron rich, electron deficient. Okay. Okay, this is electron deficient. Okay, if it is electron deficient, here what will be there? It will be like this: M1 minus plus D sigma here A M2 plus. So this is the inelastic one here. Inelastic. Let's see the elastic. Means here there are no charges. D sigma A plus M2. Okay. If there is no charges, then it is called as elastic electron transfer mechanism. Okay. But here one will get the positive and one will get the negative, and D is having one radical and A is having one radical. Okay. Okay. So means one electron is present, but here it is having lone pair, but it is having vacant orbital. So that's why this is said to be inelastic electron transfer mechanism. If you see here, all are neutral in charge. There are no charges present in this one. Okay, so that's why it is called as elastic electron transfer mechanism. Okay. So here it is having negative charge, and here it is having positive charge, and this donor and acceptor is having one electron. So this is called as inelastic mechanism. Okay, inelastic transfer mechanism. Okay. So here next one is, this is the second one, and let's see the third one. Okay. Let's see the third one, intra-electron transfer mechanism. Intra-electron transfer mechanism. Okay, so let's see how it will be there. Actually we have to take M1 is there plus D sigma A is there plus M2 is there. Okay, so here it is a LUMO, here D1 A1 here. Okay, so this is, we have to write first, this is a LUMO. Actually there are no extra electron. Here it is a HOMO, here LUMO, and this is a HOMO. Okay, HOMO means here it is acceptor because of lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, because it is ready to accept the electron. it is as a HOMO, it is having extra electrons, so that's why it acts as a donor. It will give electrons, so that's why it is a donor. Okay, so this is, what is this? Here again it is acceptor and it is donor, because highest occupied molecular orbital means high electrons will be present on that one, so that's why it is called. Here this is said to be electron poor, here electron rich, electron poor, electron rich. Okay, okay, so if it will give M1 minus plus B plus sigma A minus plus M2 plus. Okay, so means here, so this is this one. Okay, so let's see another. Here M1 minus plus D plus sigma A minus plus M plus will be there. Is it or not? Okay, M2 plus, right here M2 plus will be there. So here in this one, if it donates electron to this one, okay, and if it donates electron to this one, what will be happen here? Okay, so otherwise if it donates to electron to this one, so what will be happen? Okay, so here it forms M plus M1 plus and D, it is having this one M2. Okay, M2 plus, M2 plus. Okay, so this is elastic electron transfer mechanism, and here this is a intramolecular electron transfer mechanism. Okay, within the molecule means here if it is donated to this one, this is called as intramolecular electron transfer mechanism. Okay, so let's see what are the applications of these rectifiers. Okay, applications. So conversion of AC to DC. First one, conversion of AC to DC. Okay, that is first application. And here here amplitude modules radio signal, these are amplitude, act as amplitude modules, radio signals. Okay, the third one is supply polarized voltage for welding. Polarized voltage for welding means if you see this welding, so this supplies polarized voltage. Okay, these are supplied as this one. Okay, and railway rolling stock substances. Railway rolling stock substances. So these are used in railway rolling stock substances. And here one more application is there. Here control of friction. Friction will be generated now. Sound, some disturbance will be generated. So for that, for the reducing friction, so rectifiers are using for the reducing friction. Okay. So control, we have to control the friction. Control of friction motors. Rapidi antaru kada adi. Rapidi taggistundi. Okay. Okay. So these are the applications of these rectifiers. Okay. So let's see carbon nanotubes. Okay. So these are the rectifiers applications. So conversion of AC to DC and amplitude modules. These are used as amplitude modules, radio signals. So used in this one, radio signals. Yeah, supply. These are supply polarized voltage for welding, not welding, welding. This is welding, L. So welding is done now. So actually some welding process will be there now. So and that, so these rectifiers are supplied as a polarized voltage. Okay. And what about these are used in railway rolling stock substances. Okay. So and these are reduces the friction in motors. Okay. So these are the applications of this one. Okay. So let's see the carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes. These are called as CNTS, carbon nanotubes. These are called as CNTS. Short form of this carbon nanotubes. These are nothing but these are allotrope with cylindrical nanostructure. These are allotrope with cylindrical nanostructure. Okay. So what are these? These are allotrope with cylindrical nanostructure. Okay. So this, what is the length of this one? This CNT length, considerable length is 13.2 into 10 power 6 diameters. What is the length of this one? 13.2 10 power 6 diameters. Okay. So here these are significantly larger than other materials. Okay. Next, these cylindrical nanoparticles are unusual properties. Okay. So these are having applications as structural material. These are used as a structural materials. Baseballs used as structural materials. Baseballs, cars, aeroplanes used in structural materials, baseballs, cars, aeroplanes. So these carbon nanotubes are used in various fields like structural materials and baseballs, cars and aeroplanes. Okay, aeroplanes and here etc. So here these are number of fullerenes. Fullerenes means what here? More means carbon is repeated unit only. So carbon repeated. Okay. So if you take buckyball, C60 fullerenes are there, right? So in that only 60 carbons are present in that fullerene. So this is a type of fullerene. Okay, CNTs are member of fullerene structure family. Fullerene structure family. Okay, fullerene structure family, which also include special balls like C60. Okay. So the name, why it came, the name CNT is derived from long hollow chains. Long hollow structure. Means hollow means what? Pipe. It looks like pipe. Okay. It looks like pipe with walls. Okay, with walls means if you assume this one, it is a wall pipe. Okay, this is a pipe. If you see, this is a pipe, and here walls will be there. Okay, so in this walls will be there. So formed by the thick sheets of carbon. These walls are formed by the thick sheets of carbon. Okay, so these are nothing but thick sheets of carbon called graphene. What it is called? Thick sheet. If it is these walls made up with the thick sheets of carbon, okay, carbon frames, then it is called as graphene. Okay, graphene. Okay, so the sheets are rolled at a specific angle. So here are rolling radio disc nanotube properties based on rolling properties. Okay, so here it exhibit different conductivity, and it is having thermal conductivity behavior. It has have thermal conductivity behavior. These carbon nanotubes having thermal conductivity behavior. So main why it is will come means here it is very similar to semiconductor metallic. Okay, so if you take a semiconductors, so like that here also that arrangement will be, so semiconductor or metallic conductor. Okay, so here these let's see, these CNTs have, these are the some properties. Okay, so these are allotropic cylindrical nanostructures. Okay, CNT considered length is 13.2 into 10 power 6 diameters. And what about this? These are the larger materials than other materials. Okay, and what about here? These are used in structural materials, baseballs, cars, aeroplanes, and etc. And what about this member of? So this belongs to Fullerene structure family. So CNTs are nothing but these are belongs to Fullerene structure family, which also include a special balls like C60. C60 is nothing but buckyballs. You can see that if you see in the intermediate, you can find out this C60 Fullerenes. Okay, Fullerenes means what? Only carbon will be present, but in number of carbons is increases. Okay, so why it comes means it is a long hollow structure, means it looks like a pipe. Okay, so these walls are made up with the thick sheets. So thick sheets of carbon, then it is called as graphene, and it shows the conductivity. So it is having thermal conductivity behavior. So how it will come? It is means it is similar to semiconductor or metallic conductors. Okay, so let's see this. How many types are there? CNTs. Here, if you see here, single walled CNTs can be categorized into two types. Okay, first one is single walled carbon nanotubes, and second one is multi-walled carbon nanotubes. Means the thick sheet will be, if it is single sheet, okay, thick, so single walled carbon nanotubes. If you place another wall in this one, so then it is called as multi-walled carbon nanotubes. Okay, multi-walled this one. Okay, so in this multi-walled naturally themselves by so which type of it will be there in this multi-walled? Van der Waal interactions and pi stacking interactions are present in the multi-walled carbon nanotubes, because so many walls are there, layers are there. So between these walls there are van der Waal interactions and pi stacking interactions. stacking interactions are present. Pi stacking interactions are present. Okay. So this one. So based on this structure of carbon nanotubes are different dimensions. So we have to means fullerene will be there. This is said to be CNT, one dimensional, okay, and 2D. Graphene is a 2D. Graphene 2D. Okay. So here the chemical bonds of CNT composed entirely. So here which bonds will be there? sp2 bonds. sp2 bonds, but stronger than sp2 bond. Okay. So that's why these are having more strength. More strength. Okay. More strength. Based on the geometry and structure, CNTs are classified into 3 types. Let's see what are the 3 types. Okay. Based on the geometry and structure. Based on the geometry and structure. Okay. So actually there are 2 types of small nanotubes are there, but based on the structure, based on geometry and structure, CNTs are classified into 3 types. Which are chiral CNTs, second one zigzag CNTs, third one armchair CNTs. Okay. So actually CNTs, carbon nanotubes, exhibit the conductivity. So as I said earlier, okay, because which is having thermal conductivities, because it is a so conductivity nature is because of this structure. Okay. So because of this structure, these are having semi-conductivity. 2 types of is there. Semi-conductivity. If you consider this conductivity, semi-conductivity and metallic conductivity, CNTs. Okay, here these are having like this. Here chiral CNTs, zigzag CNTs exhibit semi-conductivities. Okay, if you see these here, so these 2 CNTs exhibits the semi-conductivity behavior. Okay, armchair is having metallic conductivity behavior. Okay, so these armchair CNTs behave like a metallic conductors. And what about here chiral and this one zigzag CNTs so act as a, so means these behave as a semiconductors. Okay. So I will write one thing. CNTs, it is having sp2 hybridization. These are stronger than sp2. Entire molecule unique strength. These are entire molecule is having unique strength. Okay. So based on CNT is divided into 3 types, and here also CNT is divided into based on conductivity. So based on geometry and structure, so we have to classify it into 3 types, which are chiral CNT, zigzag and armchair. Based on conductivity, these are semi-conductivity and metallic conductors. Okay, metallic conductors. Okay, let's see this one. Again, means we have to simplify this classification. Okay, CNTs based on conductivities. This is classified into two types, which is semiconductivity and metallic conductivity. Metallic conductivity. Okay, so here two types are there. So this shows, what are these shows? Actually, before we have already chiral CNTs and zigzag CNTs. Okay, so metallic conductivity should choose the armchair CNTs. Okay, armchair CNTs. Let's see the zigzag one. Like this it exhibits this one. Okay, here this is a type of zigzag CNT type. Okay, zigzag CNT type. And let's see the this chiral one. Okay, so it is means it is having chiral carbons at every. This is a one. This is the each carbon is in chiral nature. Okay, chiral nature. Means so many, so this chain extends. Okay, so if every carbon has a chiral carbon. Okay, chiral carbon. Let's see the armchair one. Here it is having like this zigzag, and it is having a chiral carbons will be there. Okay, here this chains is extend like this. Okay, extend like this. Okay, so this is the carbon chain. Okay, so this one is this one. Okay, so next we have to write this one. Okay, let's see how it will be there. Okay, so like this it will be present like this. Okay, so this is a So like this is armchair CNTs. Armchair CNTs. So this is the classification of carbon nanotubes. Okay, so how many? So based on conductivity, two are there, which are semiconducting and metallic conductors. And what about here? These are chiral CNTs. Semiconductors means chiral CNTs and zigzag CNTs. And what about these metallic conductivities? So armchair CNT shows the metallic conductivities, and this shows like this. Okay. So let's see the synthesis of carbon nanotubes. Synthesis of carbon nanotubes or CNTs, we can write it. So our fabrication of CNTs. Okay. So there are three methods which are used for the synthesis of these CNTs. Okay. We are having three methods. Three methods are there. So in this, first one, laser vaporization method. Laser vaporization method. Okay. And second one is carbon arc method. Carbon arc method. Okay. So third one is chemical vapor deposition method. Vapor deposition method. Okay. So these are the methods which are producing the carbon nanotubes. Okay. So in next class, I will continue in next class. Okay. So by this I want to end this class. Thank you.